Hey everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and welcome to Book Club for February of 2023. Today we are going to be talking about Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, which was, of course, a perfect read for February. Secretly Yours actually came out this month, so it was Tessa's most recent release. And it looked so cute. It looked so cute. And if you saw my announcement video for Book Club, you saw that I was like swooning over the description on the back and all of the tropes that are in this book. There are so many. There's so many. And I just was like, this is great. This is what I'm looking for. This is perfect. Now, this is book club, so I try to make the book club discussions a little bit longer. There will be spoilers in this video in the discussion section, but I'm still going to do my normal review prior to. So if you're stumbling onto this, wanting to know if you should read this, stay tuned. Secretly Yours is about a girl who is living in a small town in Napa, and she kind of grew up there, kind of didn't. She lived with her grandmother because her mom was kind of a very free spirit and moved around a lot. She stayed there in high school with her grandmother. Her grandmother kind of taught her discipline, grounded her a little bit. Her grandmother passed away, and now she is going through life trying to figure out kind of where she fits. In stumbles her old crush that she almost kissed once in high school. He's coming back to write a novel because he kind of has a situation at work that makes him put his priorities back in order. But his family owns a winery in the area, and she lives in the area and is a gardener, so they kind of meet up again. And she drunkenly one night gets the idea to write him a secret admirer note, confessing her feelings. He doesn't know that it's her. I gave this book 4 stars. It was really cute. I really liked it. I know you're going to come at me and say, but Amanda, you said if you didn't give it 5, you needed a head CT. You can still give me a head CT if you think I've been hit in the head or, have something else going on. I really liked the book. Just couldn't push it to a full 5. I don't know exactly why. Like, I've really been trying to pinpoint why, but it was a 4 for me. I did really enjoy it. It's a good spicy book. It's really good, Tessa. It was funny. And there were actually some like heartfelt moments and some quotes that I really connected to in this book. And I think that just made it really great. Spice level is a 3. I don't want to say this was tame for Tessa, but it was a little tame with the way that the characters were described, especially him. Julian was kind of this in charge, everything has to be a certain way person. And I thought that Tessa was going to take that a certain Tessa direction, and she didn't. And I was surprised. I mean, not as she kind of did, but like, not as much as I thought Tessa would. It was fairly tame, in my opinion, for Tessa. It still had a 3 because I think there was still a lot of dirty talk and there was still a lot of spice in it, but Tessa's written worse. So she's written worse. So for the overall review, I do think that people will enjoy this book, especially if you enjoy Tessa's writing. I always give the disclaimer that Tessa writes alpha males. So if you don't like alpha males in your romances, you may want to stay away from Tessa books. But if you do like them, then definitely read Tessa Bailey. Okay, so now for the spoilery discussion. And I say spoilery not because like it's a romance and you're going to spoil something, because we read happily ever after romances on this channel, at least the contemporary ones, not always the fantasy romance ones. But the contemporary ones tend to be happily ever after. So like, we're not really spoiling that, but just talking about the content. I really liked the note in the beginning that Tessa wrote. I don't know if a lot of you saw that or read it. Sometimes people don't read the author's notes. I used to never read the author's notes, but now I do. I feel like it meant a lot. And I love when authors write books that mean a lot to them. They're not just writing a story. We love the stories that they tell, don't get me wrong. But when they connect to it on a deeper level and they tell us that about the book, I feel like it just means more. Like she said, she wrote about this because she knew what it felt like to not know where you were going at a point in time. And I feel like that is something in Hallie and Julian, really, that a lot of people can relate to. And I think that's what made these characters really relatable, at least for me. These events have happened in my life. They've shaped who I am up to a certain point. Where do I go from here? Something else has happened and now I have to make all these decisions. And so like the Hallie kind of finding herself and Julian also kind of finding himself and accomplishing his dreams and writing his book, and like all these things were things that obviously I can relate to. I really liked that. I also really liked the idea of finding, I don't know if peace is the right word, but finding what you needed from someone else. Like I know Tessa's books a lot are like spicy romances, right? But I felt like this one kind of went a step deeper. His control issues and his panic attacks and his mental health stemming from previous events in the past, he needed somebody to kind of let him loose from that. And Hallie, being this kind of whirlwind, anything goes, gone with the wind kind of person, needed somebody to ground her and remind her that she doesn't have to be that if she doesn't want to be. Finding what they needed in each other, I felt like was a deep level. I really liked it in the book. I did. I thought it was really good. One thing that I did not understand about Julian was the dogs. Okay, the dogs. For someone that is so in control of everything. He said, you know, okay, the dogs can be controlled by being stern with them, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. But like them running through the house and jumping all over him and like all this stuff, and it didn't bother him. I was like, that's a little odd. For the way his character was, I could see him being extremely bothered by that. More than just being around Hallie would kind of fix. You know what I mean? I don't know. That was the one thing that I was like, I don't know. For those of you who have read Tessa before, did you understand what I was saying when I was talking about the spice level and how I thought that it was going to go a certain way? Like with his control and his need to be in charge and his like very specific personality traits, I thought that that was going to translate heavily to the spicy scenes. And it didn't. Did anybody else think that it didn't? At least not in like a Tessa way that I've read in her other books. Because she's written that before and I've read it before. But like, I thought for sure it was going to be in this book because of the way that Julian was. Because of his personality. Because of his control. But it wasn't. And I was shocked. I was like, I think that's why I called it like a little bit of softer Tessa, because that's what it felt like. It was softer. I think the helping out of the small businesses and the scenes with the kids and the story time and Back to the Future and all that, those were all cute. They were super cute and quirky, and they kind of just gave the book an extra little comfort level. Like you just made you feel good. It was really cute. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I hope you guys liked it too. I will definitely be reading the next one. I believe this is only a duet or duology with Julian's sister, Natalie. I think it's A Marriage of Convenience. Gotta love those. Thanks for reading along with me for book club in the month of February. I know this was probably a shorter discussion than normal, but the rom-coms, sometimes they're just short videos. I'm sorry, I did my best. And sometimes it's hard when like there's just a bunch of things that you really like about a book. You're like, yeah, I like this and I like this and I like this and I like this. And when there's not really things that you don't like, I can't just sit here and explain about things that I didn't like because I liked it. Anyways, stay tuned for the next video. You'll be automatically redirected to the March pick. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everybody who chatted with me today. Even if you didn't and you just came to watch the video, thank you for coming also. Maybe one day you'll get the courage to send a little message. If not, totally fine. It's totally fine. I'll be here anyways. I had so much fun chatting with you guys. Like always, don't forget you can find me on all the social media at The Fun Size Reader, and I will see you for the March announcement in just a second.